Good day, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I thought we were finished with this one, but got a late request in. I do have a schedule, so squeezing these in is quite difficult, and my weekend was kind of messed up anyway with the sound issues, so I had to redo a couple of videos. And I thought it was worth a shot. I hadn't really tried any sort of road car touring cars in this campaign, or series as you would call it, but somebody suggested a different safety car, the BMW M4, and something just rang a bell inside and just said, you've got to give this a shot. This has got to be one that is worth a shot. So there we have it, folks. This is what we're dealing with today. Can this car cut it? Will it make it? So it's 779.46 pp. It's not near the top of the tree at all. It doesn't actually break any barriers. It doesn't really go anywhere. So we've got 767 horsepower. Downforce is reduced to give us a bit more power, a bit more speed, but the suspension fully customizable is standard as everything we do. Fully customizable diff, I've changed it to 555. We've got all the power, no restrictions, a 310 speed capability on the automatic gearbox, which is its default, and if you can see, the 7th gear runs off the top of the screen, so that's going to be pretty long. Downforce, we've got front lip, side skirts, rear spoiler, rear valance, and we've also got that rear spoiler high at 20 end plates, but the downforce is capped. We've brought it down purely because of top speed. We need this thing to be moving further. We've tried it with the medium turbo, and it just doesn't cut the mustard. So we've had to use the high RPM turbo, but with that we're going to use more fuel. So we just have to back this car down a little bit. We have to run it. We're going to try and do a two-stop. We have to run it a little bit on the reserve side. So it's up against it. It's got low horsepower. It doesn't meet the PP targets. It's running high RPM turbo, which is going to be more fuel usage. We'll just have to see how it goes. We bought all the add-ons, racing, cleaner, silencer and exhaust, all racing. Brake system racing. We put the brake control on, but we haven't changed it. Racing clutch and flywheel, carbon prop shaft, all the available adds. So the bore up, engine balancing tune, polished ports, high lift camshaft test, titanium control rods and pistons. Can I say that properly? Titanium connecting rods and pistons, racing crankshaft, weight reduction stage 1, 2 and 3, and body rigidity. Does it have enough? That is the question. We're playing you a video, so we think we've found a solution. Let's go and get to the track. And I think you thought we'd messed up with no camera. Just spotted it. So settings will be, as always, assist, traction control 1, default ABS, ASM on and counter steer assistance strong. We're making it easy. It's grinding. It doesn't need to be difficult. Assist settings we've just done, so let's look at controller settings. Controller steering sensitivity 5, max force feedback torque 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. Not a lot to talk about. Let's give it a go. So we're going to drop straight into the fuel map, bang that to 6, and we're going to try and drive this to the end of lap 5. It sounds good. The other thing I notice immediately is the seating position feels high. So we're going to get to look over the top of the cars as we come past them. It's got good torque out the corners. Fuel map didn't go to 6, it has now. We're going to have to short shift some more to make up for that. It's bouncing on the brakes, just bopping them just to get us around the corner. The Alpha wants more room, so it gives us a shove. And now we're going to short shift our way up. Fuel is down already, so Mr. Gallo in a affectionately Mexico coloured car. Is it Mexico? You tell me, is it Italy? Red, white and green. I don't think that's Italy. Oh, we hit the wall. So we're pushing on. Fuel, we've just got to try and save a little bit. Mr. Kawakami picks up the line coming through what we affectionately call the grassy knoll. Mr. Kawakami took a run in the grass. Unlucky, my friend. 4.2 laps of fuel. We've managed to recover it, but by that we're down. We're 15th place. Need to keep pushing. 7th speed. There's a bit of jinking going up ahead. Let's just put the brakes on. Let's just try and avoid any trouble here. These are full race cars we're up against, so they're going to brake quicker than we can. Here's our equivalent car. Just go door to door with him as he squeezes us on the apex. He doesn't give us any room coming in there, but let's go. We can wring this neck a little bit now. Let's run its engine out just a wee bit. A 1:42.090, fastest lap to date. We're in 11th place, so it's steady progress, but it's nothing blistering. This could be a tough race. This could be a challenge. We might not have what it takes to get to the end in first place. We're really interested in what the top team strategy is going to be. Mr. Fraga is normally the runaway winner of this when we're in a lower power car. Mr. Portilla will be on his usual 3-stop. We're just in 10th place, coming to the end of lap 2. Just watch out for them jinking in and coming back across the line. We've got them here. 3.0 on the fuel map. We're doing okay through the gap. Fuel's just knocked down a little bit. Up into 7th. Will they take note of the flashing lights, or are they just interested in making progress? That's the question. Mr. Rubilar, M6. Now what this car does have is a very nice little, I won't say drift because it's not really a drift, but it has a nice little tail end wobble as you come out of a corner. The back end just wants to pivot round, and that counter steer really does have a massive part to play in stopping that happening too far. But we'll see if we can get a little bit of a slide coming out of the grassy knoll maybe. We're good. Fuel at 2.3 there isn't particularly bad, but we've still the fastest lap of the race, a 1:43.19. There's that back end slide again. It just catches it, and that's why we use the counter steer and the ASM, just to make sure that's all within our grasp. So 5th place, end of lap 3. Just need to watch that fuel just a smidgen. Mr. Ordonez in front of us. We're going to make it to the fuel stop if we carry on as we're doing. There's a 1:39.064. Fastest lap of the race is still with us. So Portilla out front. Portilla's going to be pitting the end of this lap. He's some 13 seconds ahead. Mr. Boubois and Mr. Fraga just ahead of us here. But Portilla is chugging away up there. Not forgetting, we cut all the way through the field to get to this point, so it's not really a disaster where we are, but we are slow compared to what we've used to date, and the engine noise of this Beamer really is quite nice. Sounds like a V8, nice deep low rumble. On the fuel, just dropped to 1.3 as I said it. There's that slide again. There it is. It's lovely. It feels great, and it comes back into line with the counter steer, just bringing it on. So Portilla should be going to the pits now. Has he gone in? Portilla has not gone to the pits. He's actually going for a 2-stop. What's going on? Why is this different? Cookabun's gone in, but Portilla, Fraga and Beauvoir, and this has kind of upset my rhythm, they've all gone on for the back end sliding away. Portilla is going to push his car on. He's gone for the 2-stop. I'm lost for words. I'm in disbelief. Fraga and Beauvoir, we're going to be pitting the end of this lap, so we're making good ground here. But to have Portilla be 12.5 seconds ahead and pushing for a 2-stop, fastest lap of the race is ours, so we just need to keep making sure we're still on top here. This is a complete change of strategy, something I've never seen before. I've known Fraga and Beauvoir both opt to go the 3-stop. I'm now in doubt as to where we're going to get. Portilla has run out of fuel. There we go, that's Portilla done with. So my first fear was a 13-second lead was going to turn into an hour, but now we've just got 6 seconds to head to Fraga, and Beauvoir is only 3 seconds ahead, so we're heading for the pits. Just need to watch that fuel. Done it. We're all in and we made it. We're going to stay on the softs. We are refueling though. Rubilar comes in. Ordonez comes in. Oh, excuse me. We're just 2.4 seconds behind Fraga. Mendoza, Yamanaka go on. Fuel is now going in. So again, I say again, for the first time we have a bit of a myxomatosis going on with the old running order. There's been an incident on the straight. Mr. Beauvoir gets a side impact from Mr. Kawakami. He obviously thought that was me coming out of the pits. And that was a big puff of brake dust. Right, so we are 15 seconds off the lead. Mr. Yamanaka running on through. A completely different race. So we were chasing down Beauvoir. We are going to maintain that. We know Fraga is the threat, so let's see if we can just keep pushing on. Fastest lap of the race is still ours, and it will be for the next lap, I would have thought. Mr. Beauvoir getting competitive. We're going to slide round the outside. We're not going to be immensely dirty, but we will just door rub with him. And there's Fraga ahead. So the catch is on. We've just got to maintain that short shift. Mendoza goes on for another lap. So he's still on for the 1-stop. 4 laps of fuel. Let's just pace ourselves. We're not going to overly charge down Mr. Fraga. We're going to save some juice at this point. We're only 9 seconds off the lead from Mr. Mendoza. We're not overly worried. We've both got 1 stop to go. And we're still catching Fraga with the short shift. As Mr. Fraga overtakes Mr. Hizal. At this point of the lap we need to be 3.5 on the fuel. We're doing well. Fuel is on target. Oh, Mr. Hizal, that's a little bit aggressive. You have got better brakes than us in the braking zone. I will admit that, but you haven't got it on the straight. Let's just chase down Fraga again. Grassy knoll. Oh, there's Mr. Portilla. Still running around with no fuel. That's him broken. He's broken that, hasn't he? I can only imagine that there's something wrong with the fuel system in the pit lane, and they've told him to stay out until they can fix it. I can't imagine any other reason. We're just going to casually coast up to the rear of Mr. Fraga. Fastest lap of the race is ours at 38.670. We weren't squealing our tyres then, that was Mr. Fraga. He doesn't want us to overtake. Mr. Mendoza in the lead. Mr. Mendoza has yet to pit, I do believe. You can't door bash me, my friend. Gave the incentive to get past though, didn't it, Mr. Fraga? This is a really close, tight race. We've not had one of these up to now. We've both got the same strategy. We are good on fuel. Now, have we lined him up for a pure squared grassy knoll overtake? We have. Actually, a massive shout out has to go to the guy, and I'm not going to use your name, I don't do that. Genuinely, if you look through the comments you'll find it, but this was a really cool shout. It's another safety car, which is great. There is one more out there that I think we could use here, but it's such a good close race that, again, it just makes for something different. And for a grind, I know it's going to be slow because of the lap time and the overall pace of the car, but this is good fun. This is keeping me interested in the game, and I thought that's why it's worth sharing. Once I started playing with it and working it out, this is a really good play. So it got me to thinking, and it made me realise that ultimately we're never going to stop doing the grind videos. For the cars we stumble across and do, we'll slip them in. We just won't be focusing on another series of race cars. Oh, Mr. Portilla. Whoa, that was so close. We have to watch out for Mr. Portilla, don't we? He is not moving quickly at all. Oh my lord, my heart went ka-chunk up into my throat. Mr. Fraga seems to have made it past without any major upset. We gain a little bit every time we go through the grassy knoll. We're good for fuel for the last lap before the pit stop. Fastest lap 1:37.855. Probably about the slowest car we've used, to be honest. Or is the FXX the slowest car we've used? Well, maybe. Beauvoir and Hizal both go to the pits at the end of 9. They're 2 stoppers. Portilla hasn't bothered. I wonder if Portilla got blocked or whether it is a technical issue with the fuel. We'd like to understand. No messages from race control. I don't think they're going to give us anything. Here we go. 0.7 on the fuel to get to the end. We're good. Rear tyres are starting to feel a little bit loose. going to be 4 seconds in the lead when we get to the final pit stop. And now we're going to start to lap people. We came through there exceptionally quickly. 5.1 lead now. We've got good fuel to get to the end of this second stint. Now we're diving for the pit lane. We're in. We'll take the softs. We'll take all the fuel. How far ahead are we going to be? Is Fraga going to go for another lap? No, he comes in. We were actually more conservative than he was. We got all the lights on. We're taking it all. He started taking his fuel as we hit 70%, so we leave as he hits 65%. And we're leading by some 6 seconds, it says. But then Bishop, Rubilar, Grady, Ordonez all hit the pits. We've got the same gap. Just ran it a little bit wide there. So 1:37.855 is our fastest lap of the race. We've got no contest from Mr. Rubilar, who I think we're going to catch just at the top of this hill again. He is still moving, but very slowly. He looks like he's in the braking zone just up here. He is. He's just trundling round with some sort of issue. 20th spot's going to be him, and that's going to please Inestrosa. And who is this? Mr. Gallo, our fellow. Pick up his draft. So we've started lapping, 3 laps to go. It's actually 4 laps, to be honest. 12, 13, 14, 15 as we look up to the lap board and then take it to the gravel, which is our first major mistake of the race. We've still got 10 seconds on Mr. Fraga. There's no real problem. I thought we were going to have much more of a race. Oh, the car is all over the place. Heavy fuel, sticky tyres. I'd have thought it'd be better. Just things changing a little bit. Let's just back it down and keep pushing. Let's do it right. I can see where Rubilar is, not Rubilar. Portilla. I can see where he is. I'm just trying to watch that screen up there to try and see where he's trundling through so we don't get a surprise like we did last time. I think he's just got to the end of the start-finish straight. I think we're going to catch him around about the sharp left. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn 6 I think we're going to catch him at, maybe. Maybe just after. There he is, caught me by surprise. I didn't expect him to be on the left hand side, the racing line. That was just, oh, panic stations. We'll look, watch Fraga's time to see if he has any issues, but he's 11 seconds behind us. I wonder where we'll catch up to him next time round. He'll probably be nearer the start-finish line, I would have thought. So next time we come round, we expect to see him somewhere here. If we get to pass him again, that is the question. So 13 seconds in the lead over Fraga, as the car wants to slide all the way through that first corner. Second gear wasn't enough to check it. The rear tyres really still are pushing. So with 2 laps to go, let's discuss what we've got. We've got an M4 safety car, quite well tuned. You've got to run fuel map 6. The soft tyres really do accommodate the car, changing them every pit stop. We run a 2-stop strategy. The fuel map goes all the way, it does do it. There is a little bit of conserving that you have to do, but it's not a massive problem. Head to head against the GR3 cars in the race, it's very competitive. Probably loses it in the mid acceleration point. Once you get the grassy knoll corner pinned, you know you've got it. And there he is, he's actually trundling past the start finish now. We've got 1.2 laps of fuel. He's just going into turn 1. We've been nowhere near our fastest lap time on this last stint, and there he is, just flowing round. He's absolute gutted, you know he is. Everybody running past him. We're 16 seconds in the lead on our final lap. And as we said when we got round here, very capable car this, really pleasure to drive, great to listen to. It's got a great tune, it really does. And by the tune I mean the soundtrack, the engine noise. Gear changes really swift. And the tyres coat, so it's 0.6 on the fuel. We'll get through the start finish line, but it's going to be a slow race. Fastest lap is achieved, but I'd say if this was a 26.5, it equals some of the faster cars from Tokyo, and it's probably one of the slowest cars we've used here, but a tremendous shout, a really good effort. Will it be quite so good on controller? Probably, actually, probably really easy to drive. And I wouldn't say it's any slower, it just probably doesn't have the acceleration, that's where it loses out. 17-second lead though, almost a single pit stop, so you could probably go 3-stop. That would be interesting to find out, something for you to test. And there we go through the line. Not an embarrassment at all, that's a really good race. Really good race. Mr. Kawakami going slowly there. Again, he's had an incident-packed race as he gets himself going past. But there we go. He wins with a 25.59, so a decent sub-26 race. That's pretty good. There's still 4 minutes there to get your drink and your break. Lapped everybody down to 17th with lapping Portilla 5 times. Fastest lap of the race went to us, a 1:37.855. And of course, the crucial bit, clean race bonus achieved, which takes us almost to the 10 million. Happy days. And there she is, folks. The choice is yours. Would you want to use it? Well, first of all, you've got to buy it. It's available and it is there in the BMW shops. So do go get it. It's worth having. And it's a great, capable grinder, in my opinion. It's up to you what you do. All the best, folks. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.